Well, good morning. Y'all know me. I try to be punctual and I try to be on time. If I say 7, I try to be here at 7. So I got up a little earlier and I made my coffee. Not only did I make my coffee, but I used one of my favorite coffee cups. And can you see what that says? It says best I ever. No, this is not from a niece or nephew, but this is from one of Auntie Angie's babies. One of my babies that I saved from abortion bought me this cup. So this will be the cup that I'm using. Good morning. Our viewership is kind of low this morning. I don't know if it's because it's too early in the morning and people just hadn't woken up yet, or if people are up and moving around and getting ready to go to work. But hopefully, those that know that I'm live, even if you are preparing yourself for work or getting your day started and you can't sit up here and actually watch it, you can listen. When I woke up this morning, I had something on my mind, right? And what I had on my mind was I had been watching and paying attention to very little coverage about this Ghislaine Maxwell trial. And I know I'm probably pronouncing her name wrong, Ghislaine, whatever. If you guys are familiar with this, then you know that this is the woman who was arrested alongside Jeffrey Epstein, has ties to Harvey Weinstein, like all of this stuff, right? We already know what happened with Jeffrey. Somehow, Biden is in office. We don't hear nothing else about Harvey Weinstein. We don't know what's going on. And they are completely silent about this Ghislaine Maxwell trial. And I'm trying to figure out why. Why? Because when they go to talking about the Kyle Rittenhouse trial, right? We can find that up everywhere. Not only do you find it up everywhere, but you got live coverage right out of the courthouse. Now, I'm trying to figure out why is it that we can get live coverage, right? Directly out of the Kyle Rittenhouse trial, directly out of Ahmaud Arbery trial, which are both racially motivated. The Kyle Rittenhouse should not be, because mind you, this man killed with his kid. I don't refer to him as a man. This kid killed, but he killed 2 white people. I don't know how. I don't know how the definition of a white supremacist became killing 2 white people. Like I don't. This is new to me. I'm trying to figure out where we are here in America, but I'm also trying to explain to my people that this is all lies and an agenda being pushed by the media. Them finding a way to control our actions, to control our emotions. So if we're emotional, most people act on emotion. Well, Angela, what do you mean? Well, I'll give you a couple of examples, right? So let's just say you somewhere just chilling, you ain't even bothering nobody. Somebody comes up, spit in your face. Well, the first thing that you feel is anger, right? Even before any retaliation comes, you feel anger. So you are going to retaliate based off of the feeling that you are having, which is an emotion. Okay. So if we are caught up in our feelings, caught up in our emotions, then we are acting on, right, feelings and emotions and not necessarily logic. We have not been using logic when it comes to the media being used as a tool to control us. The media got black folks outside right now, the Kyle Rittenhouse trial, holding up signs, protesting. Somebody the other day over there near Kenosha, they was having a Christmas parade. This was just yesterday. Got in a van, ran through the parade, killed several people, including 3 children in a Christmas parade. Black man, right? Because he in his feelings, because he in his emotions, because he's listening to these black representatives like Cori Bush, who we see constantly being promoted to our community. That's not only telling us that abortion is health care, okay? That is black genocide. That is black genocide, okay? Somebody offering you an abortion is basically telling you that your children are better off dead. I don't know if y'all heard that. At some point, we got to start getting offended, right? Like, it's one thing for us to know that it's there, right? If there's a situation, but it's another thing when they start blatantly lying to us, okay? And making us believe that they are doing us a favor. So when we have representatives, right? Like that look like us, like Cori Bush, Ayanna Pressley, people like AOC, Elon Omar, all of these people that's supposed to relate to us, because we are people of color, as they say, right? And I told y'all about this whole people of color BS before. Anybody that is basically even the father of the child or the mother of the child, if you feel like you abortion, right? And we're not talking about incest or rape or none of that stuff. We're talking about just cuz. You basically saying your child is better off dead. Why put that type of curse over the lives of your children? Why allow someone else to curse our generation, to curse the next generation, to curse black life? When y'all know these people been trying to get rid of niggas since day one. I ain't trying to offend nobody. I ain't trying to hurt nobody's feelings. I have to keep it real. We believe, right, for some reason that there is systemic racism in everything except abortion. How you don't get it? Huh? Because when I ride through the affluent, rich neighborhoods, I see fertility clinics. I don't see abortion clinics. Now, let's keep going. When they use people like Cori Bush, Ayanna Pressley, all of these people to tell us that we're supposed to be upset, we're supposed to be in our feelings about a 17-year-old white kid that killed 2 white people, both convicted felons. You remember what they said about George Floyd, right? Remember George Floyd deserved to die, right? Remember he was a convicted felon, all this and that. He was buying drugs, right? But what about these 2 white boys? One of them a convicted pedophile. You didn't rape and molest and sodomize, and we're going to get into this about our community being negligent and complicit with what they're doing to our children. That's going to tie back to this Ghislaine Maxwell, right? So we have them telling us we need to be focused and mad and upset and rioting, okay, about a white kid that killed 2 white convicted fellas. Now, you can't even get no remedy for the black lives that we're losing, right? Y'all ain't got, first of all, I got an issue because while we got all of these representatives that are spokespeople for us, right, or spokespersons for us on the floor, why y'all ain't got no legislation for black life since y'all care so much about it? Like, why am I reading a tweet from Cori Bush about Kyle Rittenhouse? Bitch, I don't give a fuck about Kyle Rittenhouse. Why am I not reading a tweet from you about what happened to Young Dolph? Why am I not reading a tweet from you about all of these abortion clinics in black community areas? Why am I not reading a tweet from you about $450,000 per American family that was separated by incarceration? Why am I not reading a tweet from you about economic empowerment, right? Because y'all scared of the word reparations, right? So let's just change it, because you know they change everything, right? They change everything. They tell us that Planned Parenthood is Planned Parenthood when it's really Parenthood Planned. They tell us, you know what I'm saying, we women of color, but really they referring to us as colored women, right? They telling us they want to give us something for birth control when it's really controlled birth. Come on, you know how they love to switch the words around. So let's switch it for them, right? So why am I not reading a tweet from you about economic empowerment, right, for disenfranchised Black communities or Black Americans living in those communities, but y'all steady voting for us to abort our children and to give $450,000 per illegal immigrant that crossed the border in search of a better life. So you telling me that I can't get 10,000 of my people together right now? I'm just saying, if I tell y'all, come meet me in Atlanta down at the Capitol, 10,000 of us, right? We're going to get some buses. We're going to get some vans. They're going to drive us to the closest border, okay? We're going to all get off and just march over into these people's country, right? And we're just going to take over. We don't give a damn about their laws. We don't care nothing about their border. No, we don't have no ID. We ain't got none of that. We don't have nothing. We're just going to cross over into their border. Do you know what's going to happen? Did you see what happened to the Haitians that tried to come here? Somehow the Haitians, Trey Bien, I want to say Tamika Mallory, my son, all of them went down to the border to help the Haitians. You never heard nothing back from them. You know why? They were gone. One day, they got rid of them niggas at the border. One day. Where the horses come from? And listen, I ain't hating. I'm just asking a question. I ain't seen no horses the whole time they've been talking about illegal immigration. I ain't seen nobody being chased down by a horse until the Haitians came. I'm not saying it hasn't happened, right? I'm just saying I haven't seen it. The Haitians come, they get turned back. Now, people from our community say, hey, we're going to go down here because we're going to offer assistance to the Haitians at the border before they can even make it there. I'm talking about less than 24 hours before, and y'all know Al and Rev and they on the scene. Anytime it's, they on the scene. Before they can even make it there, before gone. Talking about what happened to the Haitians? But I'm reading the post this morning. Hold on, let me pull it up. Because I got to be factual when I give y'all this information. Oh, excuse me. Hold on one second. Here we go. Where is that? Right here. Oh, y'all probably can't see it. 43 unaccompanied children from Guatemala, this is just yesterday, taken into custody by the U.S. Border Patrol. Y'all, where is all of these unaccompanied children coming from? Let's just, we need to talk for a minute because I'm just asking, okay? I'm just asking. Where are all of these unaccompanied children coming from? So you mean to tell me a child, right? A child. And you know what they've been showing us in the media, right? The little babies, everybody somehow they come across, right? Ain't nobody barefoot look like they've been starving, ain't had no food, none of that. Everybody clothed, they got bags, backpacks, like they came ready for the journey. You were telling me children, this was just yesterday, 43, but there are thousands of children, right? Coming, they done treaded through the jungle, in the high water, in the sea, a child. Like, I don't even know if I could make that journey myself. Children? We're reading reports a couple of years ago. They're telling us in these reports, children separated at the border. No, y'all ain't separated at the border. You ain't separated if you came here by yourself. You ain't separated if you was trafficked across the border. We didn't separate you, baby. You was separated from your parent before you even got here. We were reading all of these reports last year talking about children separated from their parents having to go to court by themselves. They wasn't telling the truth. Why are they separated from their parents? Why are they going to court by themselves? Because Trump made them provide DNA tests at the border. Oh, they don't want to talk about that, huh? And when they did the DNA test, come to find out they weren't their children. Now, this is my question. Now, us, and I'm talking to my people, if you're an American, this ain't got no color on it, but us, right? Any of us going to the hospital right now and have our baby, you're not leaving that hospital without filling out paperwork for that baby to have a birth certificate and a social security number. Those of us that live here in America, we all have an ID, right? I could be walking down the street right now today. Police officers, hey, who are you? Let me see your ID. I don't have an ID. Guess what? He can take me down to the station, right? Fingerprint me, hold me until they figure out who I am. So you're telling me that thousands of people, including children, with no identification. We don't know who these children are. We don't know who their parents are. Half the time, we don't know where they come from. Coming across the border, taken into U.S. custody. Well, where are the children going? They ain't got no mama or no daddy or no family looking for them or tracking them down. We have kidnapped children right here in the United States. Can you imagine being in a third world country, a country that is poor? You ain't got no money. You ain't got no access to the internet. You ain't got no access to nothing. And your child snatched up and gone. Y'all gonna sit up here and tell me and act like y'all don't remember all those people over there in Haiti crying out about their children. Huh? Now, let's talk about this. These children aren't traceable. Where they going? We have foster care homes right now overcrowded. American children nowhere to go. Group homes overcrowded. Juvenile detention centers overcrowded. Homeless shelters overcrowded. Mothers and their children, right? The mothers who are still trying to hold on to their children, and I was one of them. And I can relate, because when I came home from prison, when nobody give me nothing, trying to hold on to their babies. Can't get no assistance, can't get no help, can't get no nothing. We have nowhere for these people to go. But you got Joe Biden, Kamala Harris, and the Democrats not only advocating for illegal immigrants to come here, but I just read an article this morning, 450,000 per person separated at the border. Well, wait a minute now. Wait a minute. That's our money. We pay taxes. For those of you all that go to work, like I remember when I got my first job, I was young. I was all excited. I hadn't added up all this money, right? You know how it is when you get your first job. You're a kid. They gave me all these hours. I'm like, okay, I got a full 40 hours. I done added up all this money and then get your check. Your check ain't even half that. What is this? Taxes. What do taxes got to do with me? Okay, I've gone beyond that now, right? So now I've gone from receiving a paycheck to now owning a business and still having to pay taxes, right? And so all of us being taxed, this is American dollar, right? The money, and this I didn't necessarily know all this until I ran for Congress, right? The money that these people make, right? Representatives like Cori Bush, I'm gonna keep bringing her up because I don't like what she's doing. Listen, almost, they making close to $200,000 per year to be a mouthpiece for you, and all you getting is funded abortion and the Equality Act for your children, and you all are upset. Everybody needs to be bucking at this point. We're paying for this. $450,000 per person separated at the border, up to $1 million per family. Now I have a question. This is our money. I know y'all get a little too hood sometimes, but How many of my partners, my friends, I don't see dead or in jail trying to touch a million? Can you imagine what life would be like for people in the Black community if we jumped off with a million? Because all I know is nothing from nothing leaves nothing. If any of you, and I got chills right now, this is so for real. If any of you read my book, y'all know I talked about when we got here to Georgia and we was at our grandma's house, it was every man for himself. You better learn how to hustle. You better learn how to do something. Can you imagine what life had been like if any of us would have jumped off with a million? Or even in that generational wealth gap, or our parents or grandparents passed away and left us with a million. Do you know that the majority of us that have gone to prison, in prison, spent time in prison, were chasing a check? They talk about crimes of survival. Let's get back to what I'm talking about these kids. Kids showing up at court, unaccompanied minors, they refer to them. DNA tests given at the border, showing that the people who brought these children across are not the parents. What they doing with these kids? Why the children? Why are these children? Why ain't nobody trying to send them back? Why ain't been no task force created to try to help these children find their parents? Why is the United States just taking in these people's children? You know they're not yours, and you know that they are not ours. Y'all got all of this facial recognition technology. Soon as a nigga commit a crime, he locked up. Ask me how I know. Well, I'm gonna give you a clean example. Cameras are everywhere. I'm gonna give you another example. When I had just got out of prison, back in 2005, when I was cleaning up my life, there were some things that were coming back to haunt me, right? And I remember getting a call from a detective. And he was like, hey, you need to come in. We need to sit down. We need to talk to you, right? And I'm like, man, I just came home from prison. What? Y'all ain't run all that together? Like, bro, I don't got nothing else left. What do you want? Right? I go sit down, talk to the man, because you know I used to play games, right? I'm talking to the man. The man starts showing me all of these sheets of paper. It's every driver's license I had, right? In about 3 different states, different names, same face, right? I'm like, okay, yeah, I just went to prison for all that. You look it up. I just got out. You know what I'm saying? Yada, yada, whatever, right? I'm like, but how are you able to pull all this together? They said we have facial recognition technology, right? They can scan your face, put it in the computer just like a fingerprint. It's going to tell them exactly who you are, pull up everything that there is about you. But this is the problem that I have. Y'all got all of this facial recognition technology, right? But y'all can't find none of these missing children. Every time we read about a missing child, you showing me some type of picture of age progression, your computer made of what that child looks like now. But you are telling me that you all can find a nigga if he go kill somebody, because I promise you the people that kill young dogs, give it till next week. Give it till next week, baby. Y'all out of here, right? Because they always find 2 ways, 3 ways, 4 ways to trick us, right? Because not only is young Dolph now passed away and his children are fatherless, right? That was where the one black man they got rid of. Not the 2 niggas that killed him. Guess what? Now y'all taken off the streets too, and your children are going to be fatherless, right? Listen, man, either way it goes, any way you slice it, you fine. Any way you slice our last president, he always rubbed on somebody's kid. Rubbing, I don't want my children to touch, right? You see my daughter, don't run your finger down. It's like y'all deny Trump. Every time you see this man, he's overly affectionate with children to the point where it's scary. Okay, all of these children are coming. Now, I've always said, I told y'all this. Oh, what do you mean my connection is unstable? Can y'all hear me? They playing with it. They don't want me to get into this one. Now all of a sudden they talking about the connection unstable. What's going on? Y'all share this video, like this video. We need to get these numbers up. We have a real talk this morning. So listen, when the revelation came to me, right? There you go. I'm connected directly to the internet. I'm plugged directly into the internet. I'm not even on Wi-Fi. I'm plugged directly into the internet, and it's still saying the connection is unstable. I'm gonna keep on until they take us out. Listen, y'all. This one I put together in relation with the mask, right? It was like a veil was taken off of my eye, and I saw it just so clearly. It was also spiritual, right? I know y'all story 1,000 times, but I gotta tell you again, or you gotta go through. And I went to the palace bar, and people trying to say, "What you doing in there?" I'm wrong. That's what I'm doing now. I'm wrong. I'm wrong. Y'all try to make it seem like I hate LGBTQ. That's not true. My visions, my dreams, what I want to tell my child don't have nothing to do with nobody else. That's my child. Let's keep going. So I'm down at the palace bar, right? And the video's gone viral. Y'all probably night. I want to say it was 11:40. My homegirl got here. Now, the reason why I went to the palace bar because I'm walking down the street, I'm just down there and loud music, flashy lights, everybody in there having a good time. I'm like, okay, this is like they're trying to reconnect. This don't make no sense. Look like we back on now. They asked me to show my ID. I show my ID. My homegirl show her ID. We go in, we sit down. Everybody smoking, right? Hookah, whatever else, right? And drinking. Somebody come out with my phone. The live show was finna start. I'm guessing this is also I know it's finna be a live show. Live show start. All the music, woo, right? We gonna do curfew, bus split, jam, whatever, right? Okay, cool. Basically, have trees, everything gone. Ain't nothing covered, but naked. You might as well say but naked. They on stage, they do a whole little striptease, put one man in the chair, the other one got him and humping his face, and all this is grown folks stuff. This is grown folks time, right? I mean, the numbers come on YouTube with the BS, right? So, and they still say it's choppy. That's crazy. That's crazy. Everybody in the comments talking about YouTube messing with the stream. So let's get on stage, half naked in front of everybody, smoking my hookah and drinking my drink, my business. And the next thing I know, two little girls. The next day, the other two men. Listen, man. I don't know if we're gonna have to change the channel or what. We're gonna change the topic. We're gonna come back in. Y'all bear with me. We're gonna close this out. We're gonna start another stream, man.